What's up, YouTube? It's the Scooter Hound here to do a comprehensive user review after owning the Xmax for a little over a month now. I'm going to start with a quick overview of all the features. This has a 292cc liquid-cooled, fuel-injected engine. It does 27.6 horsepower at 7,250 RPM. The fuel tank is 3.4 gallons. I've been averaging 77 miles per gallon, so it's about a 250 mile range. The front tire is 15 inches with a telescopic fork that has 4.3 inches of travel. 14-inch rear tire with an adjustable rear shock system. The seat height is 31.3 inches. It has a center stand as well as a kickstand. Passenger pegs right there. The floorboard offers 3 foot positions, a keyless system. As long as the fob is within range, you have access to a lockable storage compartment on the left, and then the front right is not. The underseat storage is 45 liters. It can fit 2 full face helmets, and it has an LED lighting system. So up here you have a speedometer as well as a tachometer and then a digital display. You have your lights, flasher, turn signals, and then underneath that you have your horn. Over here you have the starter, kill switch, a hazard light, and then a control knob to filter through different settings on the display. Of course, it has a V-belt CVT transmission, and then the front and rear both have disc brakes with ABS, and this unit also has traction control. The windscreen is adjustable with a high and low setting, LED lighting, and 5.3 inches of ground clearance. All of this comes in at 398 pounds wet weight. Aesthetically, it's, just gorgeous, really aggressive, awesome looking scooter. The Blue Core technology is stellar on the engine. The miles per gallon is absolutely phenomenal. The acceleration at the jump is super smooth and more than adequate. I've never found myself wishing that it had faster acceleration or the need to mess with the CVT. The engine has a lot of grunt on the high end. I've never found passing vehicles to be a problem or steep uphill climbs. The high top end speed allows you to go anywhere and everywhere as far as pavement's concerned. Tires are super grippy and handle, wet conditions very well. Love that it has the traction control system for added safety. No issues with the stopping power of the disc brakes. Love that it has ABS. The visibility in the rear view mirrors is fantastic, no issues at all. The display has been super easy to read in all lighting conditions. The storage on this thing is also a highlight. Love that this compartment's lockable. And of course, this underseat storage is just gigantic. The oil level indicator window is something I've come to appreciate a lot. There's also a handy way to unlock the seat if your battery or fob malfunctions. Being able to adjust the handlebar position as well as the windscreen positions to help ergonomics is a nice touch. The sub 400 pound weight, 60-inch wheelbase, and larger tires make for a fantastic handling machine. It's both stable and surprisingly nimble. The weakest link has got to be the rear suspension. It may be adjustable, but it's overall just too stiff and has really poor dampening. I did put it on the stiffest setting for about a week to help break the spring in, and that did seem to soften it up a little bit. The headlights are another weak point. The regular beams just don't have the range to give me the confidence I'm looking for with night riding. In addition to the limited range, the strength of the light is not dispersed enough throughout the entire road. It's more in the center of the beam. I often find myself tempted to ride around with my high beams on. I've heard from other users that adjusting the headlights to not be pointed so far downward helps. Another weak point is the amount of grip pressure it takes to successfully apply the brakes. The feel of the brakes and the grip pressure did improve a little bit over time, but another weak point. It's also a little frustrating that Yamaha only provided 1 key fob with the bike. Additionally, I've been trying to buy a rear carrier and the universal stay accessory, and it hasn't been in stock for over a month, but you know, supply chain woes are pretty prominent amongst all manufacturers at the moment. In order to open the locked compartment as well as the seat, the engine actually has to be turned off. And this locked compartment is actually where the charging port is. So if you want to charge your phone, you won't be able to access it at red lights. Since the bike has this handlebar cover, it makes mounting things a little more limited. The mirror mount, brake reservoir, or you can spend $110 to buy an accessory from Yamaha. The seating position on this bike is a little more sunken. The floorboards seem a little high, so your knees are going to be a little higher than a bike that has a more upright seating position. Being 5'10", I feel like Yamaha didn't do the best job selecting the 2 windshield settings. The low position looks really good aesthetically, but it doesn't really filter the wind correctly. The high position does a great job up until about 60 miles per hour, and then you wish it had a couple more inches on it as well. The matte finish can drive you a little nuts with getting oil and fingerprints on it. This detailer helps a great deal. The dreaded DOT certified turn signals do not look nearly as good as the integrated European lights. They're running lights and they're quite a bit higher and larger, so hard to argue against them being quite a bit safer in terms of visibility. Yamaha gets so many things right with the Xmax. It's no surprise it's remained virtually unchanged since 2017. Being on a bike that can do a little bit of everything just adds a sense of spontaneity and freedom. It's hard to imagine anyone regretting buying this bike. It has such a unique value proposition. All of the negatives mentioned easily fade away the moment you mount the bike. If any of them are particularly cumbersome, they can be easily addressed through aftermarket accessories. The only bikes that come close in my mind are the Piaggio BV350, the Vespa GTS 300, and the BMW CT 400. Definitely check those bikes out, but the Xmax has an edge on all of them in terms of price and storage.